done and ready within the next few days. Do you think it's possible? It absolutely is possible, because we've helped hundreds of coaches be able to launch their program in just a couple days. A lot of folks, it might take less than a week. Most, if they've never done it before, it can take 2 weeks. It takes a lot of less resources than you think. And you don't need any fancy funnels. You don't need any fancy websites to make it happen. You just need to know what you're doing. So today we're going to be focused on 3 big ideas. 1, how to launch your first coaching offer without having years of experience. The 1 trick I use to overcome fear and launch my offer. And then also I'm going to show you how to build your offer in your program within 5 days of having a website, without having a website. So hope you're excited about that. All right, welcome to your Mentorship Monday, and let's dive into this. So what really made this a big idea for me is because it's been a long time where I've been creating programs for our industry since 2015. And I remember trying to make it perfect. I had a point in time, it was perfectionism syndrome, right? Where I wanted to make sure everything is perfect and I had everything, but I realized that it was just slowing my progress down. And it wasn't until one day that I said, you know what, the hell with it, I'm just gonna do it. Already at this point in time, I've already bought like a couple online like digital courses. I wasn't formally coached by anybody, but I did have some level of directional guidance. And the thing that just got me out there was like, all right, well, what's the worst that can happen? Let me at least try to help some people. And I went out there, I put it out, and it was crickets. I didn't get anybody to buy it. In this first program, I was helping college students, and nothing really happened. But I didn't give up. I kept trying and trying and trying. And then I changed my niche a couple of different times. Then I landed on working with coaches and speakers specifically. And that was me going from helping college students to stepping into productivity, doing productivity coaching for a while, and then jumping into general entrepreneurship, and then finally landing on coaches and speakers. And at this point, we've been able to get a lot of people results, a lot of people leads, a lot of people launch coaching programs because of us, and it takes less resources. So so it comes down to really 3 things, and these are the 3 things that you really want to write down. Okay. So number 1 is, and I was going to write it down for you, but I want to keep this video really short and sweet. All right. But you know what? Maybe I will write it down for you. So there's 3 S's these are the only things that you need to create your coaching program. All right, you ready? Number 1 is systems, support, and software. I'll write it down again. Systems, support, and software. Systems, support, and software. These are the 3 things that you need in order to take this to the next level. So first of all, systems, right? So you want to launch your coaching program. People are paying you for a system. People are not paying you to be your friend. To be honest with you, if you end up being buddy, that's great, but nobody's paying you for that. They want to condense time. Think about what our industry is, right? Our industry, people jump in to learn what you have because they want to save time. They don't want to go through the headaches, the having to be frustrated, having to lose money, having to lose time. I don't want to go through all of the stress and the depression that it takes to actually achieve the end result. So they say, wait a minute, you've already achieved this? Okay, well, what did you do? How did you do this? What is your steps that you went through that work for you? Well, do you have a process? Do you have a system? So that's what people are paying for. So at a minimum, you have to condense what you've learned into steps that, okay, here is my system. Here is what worked for me. So that's what people are paying you for. They're paying you for your system in order to achieve the result consistently. So people say, wait, well, how do you end up charging high ticket? People pay those type of prices. People will pay you hundreds, or people pay you thousands of dollars to work with you. Yes, because I figured out how to create a multiple 6-figure coaching business. And people don't want to have to spend the last 10 years that I did trying to figure it out. What works? What doesn't work? Where should I put my attention? Is this a waste of time or is it not a waste of time? There's 100 gurus out here telling me I should do this and I should do that. And, you know, oh, wait, focus on the content here. And then wait a minute, you could do referrals, and you could do live events, you can run ads, and then you could do this and do that, do this. Or I can make money on YouTube with the views. And oh, wait, I could boost posts and I could do cold calling, but some people knock on doors. And you see what I'm saying? So there's people out here, your audience is confused. They don't know what to do. So I had a conversation with somebody the other day that was looking to get our help, and they were just like, you know, one of the biggest issues is that there's so much conflicting information online, and I don't even know where to start. I just need one system that I could just block out the noise and just focus on it step by step, like the yellow brick road. And that's absolutely right. That's how you're going to get results, by picking, because almost anything could work, but you need a reliable system that you're going to work and that you're going to stick to. And then you need somebody by your side to help you with that, which is one of the things we're going to get to. But you have to sit down and just say, what is my process? I'm creating this coaching program. The very first thing I have all of our clients do is sit down and write out, what are your 12 steps? First thing you got to do is you got to put together your ingredients in order to make the cake. What are your ingredients to achieve the goal that your people are paying you this money for? If you can't at least do that, you don't deserve to get paid, because that means you're just winging it. Nobody wants to pay for somebody that's winging it. Would you like to get heart surgery or brain surgery and the doctor's just winging it? Or would you like them to have some type of process in order to have a successful surgery so you don't, you know what I'm saying, expire? Makes sense, right? So you got to make sure that you put that together. That's the first thing that's ultimately important, right? The second, when we talk about support, is you have to, now that I know what that is, okay, what type of support am I going to provide this person or my audience, right? Okay, how often are we going to be meeting with them? Okay, I'm going to be meeting with them for 12 weeks, every week for an hour for 12 weeks. Okay, is there any other type of support? Okay, we're going to do group support. So I'm going to have a group element to this. Okay, is there any other type of support that's going to happen? You know, maybe if you could reach out to me via text if you need to, email if you need to. Okay, you have okay, I'm creating a peer network as well too. So, you know, you're going to have other members in a program that you can work with and they'll help you out, right? Okay, we're going to have, you know, we're going to do like this live event where you can come out in person and you can get the support. You see what I'm saying? Like what type of support are you providing? Are you providing them, right? Are they going to be able to, you know, log into some AI thing and get a Q&A type of situation? Like how are you going to support them? When people are going through these programs and they're trying to achieve a goal, they're always going to have questions. Even if you come up with a digital program, okay, great. You know, you tell them, okay, I want them to log into this course and do the steps in the course. Great. They're still going to have questions. So you have to know what type of support you're giving people if you truly want to help them and change their lives. That has to be part of the offer. That has to be part of your program. Okay. And just so you delineate it, your program is part of your offer. So your program is like actually what they're going through. What's the core curriculum of what they're going through? Your offer is, your program is part of it. So you have your program, let's say that would be like your 12 weeks. But then also you have your resources. Okay, you get a live event ticket, you get worksheets, you get a digital program in addition to the 12 weeks of coaching. That is considered your offer, right? So these are the things that you need to think through when you're coming up with your your program. But these also cross over in terms of what you need in terms of your offer. What am I actually telling people and providing them in terms of them coming to work with me? Okay. So that's really key. All right. So that's the second thing. Now, when we talk about software is number 3. Software is all about, okay, what kind of software do I actually need to help provide to my clients? But then also when we talk about the program aspect, so that's the offer aspect, but then the program aspect of it is, what kind of software do I need to actually support the infrastructure to be able to run the business? So from a offer side of it, software could literally look like, are my clients going to be logging in? So I will be thinking about, okay, then I need a platform that they're going to log in. Is it going to be on Kajabi? Is it going to be on School? Or is going to be some other platform where I need to provide them credentials, because from an offer perspective, they need to know where they're getting this access from. Okay, so think about what that is. A lot of our clients, I'll recommend like, hey, Skool is a very good platform. We have our free community there at the time we doing this training right now, and but we also leverage Kajabi when they want to watch the the replays and different things of that nature, right? But for our PCS members, so we have that side of it. Now, when we're talking about the software side in terms of the infrastructure of what you want to set up, there's certain things like payment processing. So how are we going to pay? How are you going to do the payment processing for that? Where's your CRM going to be? A lot of times your CRM may be on the same system that you're hosting your program on, but your CRM is your customer relationship management system. This is where you're going to house all of the leads. You're not going to write it on a piece of paper, right? Or an Excel sheet. Have it in a place where you can send out emails, where you can keep track of all of the notes on your clients. So at a minimum, these are the things that you want to have from a software perspective. Be able to collect money and be able to house your leads so you can send out messages and information and emails. You can provide access to any kind of courses, digital products, etc. I would say when you're starting off, those are some of the things that you want to do at the beginning. You want to keep it very simple. You want to have all these automations and things set up, because what I've noticed is that is an easy way to distract yourself from actually doing the thing that you care about, which is making an impact and making money. So that's what's really important. All right. So systems, support, and software. Those are the three things that you need you need to know as part of your program and creating your coaching program, and as far as providing an offer. All right. And then obviously outside of that is the price, is bonus. Come up with the price. Coach T, what should I charge? Charge what you could charge competitively, but what I would say is this: whatever charge 10 times less than what you think the value is worth. Right? Meaning, like if I told this to one of our members the other day, I said, she was like, well, what should I charge? I said, well, this is what you do. Charge $2,000, because typically high ticket starts at around $1,500 to $2,000. So I said, start at $2,000, but make it worth 20 grand. This is a whole nother training, but just realize that what would make you pay more for a program than less? What will make you pay more? More support, more access. Race value means that they can maybe you're helping them do it faster. You're helping them make it easier. You're making it simpler. Give you one quick example. I did that. That's how I thought about us providing ads to our audience, right? Because we have a social media marketing agency that specializes in lead generation for coaches. So I just thought, I'm like, okay, they're having issues finding clients. Well, and I'm already running ads and I already know how to do it. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just provide that as part of the offer and include that in my program so they can actually get results faster? Lo and behold, now we still have organic ways for people to be able to generate leads and book appointments and make money. But if they have a few extra dollars and they can put towards the ads, people are getting results even much faster, because you don't even have to do the marketing and the advertising. We do it for you. All you need to do is pick up the phone and enroll your clients. So that is, that's the key piece of it. So hopefully taking a lot away from this. Now, next. So how do you overcome the fear, right? So here's one of the things that I did initially, and I actually forgot where I heard this from, but I remember I was watching a training when I was really like kind of afraid to really charge what I felt like I was worth. And what's interesting is I did this exercise, right? And it was a different type of exercise, but I turned it into this. I made it more intense, right? I was watching some training and it was like, hey, write down all of the positive benefits that somebody would get outside of just the normal things that they would get, from working with you. So I'm saying, okay, well, obviously they make money, they make an impact. And then I got stuck there. And they said, really think. And I said, okay, well, I guess they're going to be more confident. That's another one. And then I said, you know what? I guess, maybe their kids are watching them, so they'll feel like a better role model. And then I said, you know what? Maybe they'll be like more motivated to work out and stay healthy. And then I said, you know what? Maybe that'll help them be more of a consistent person. And then I just started listing these things out. So since then, and I started feeling better. And I'm like, oh, hold on, wait, I got something, because I was feeling some imposter syndrome. But then I started getting confident. I said, hold on, I got something here that people want, and they're gonna be able to change their life. So I came up with an exercise that I give all of our clients that are feeling a little fear in terms of launching their offer, and I call it 50 reasons. So if you've been feeling a lack of confidence, do this 50 reasons exercise. I want you to write down 50 reasons that somebody would join your program. 50 reasons. 50 reasons, right? Think about this as 50 benefits that they're going to get. Some indirect, most of them are going to some of them are going to be direct, some of them are going to be indirect. What are the benefits? And think about everything under the sun. Whatever you charge or whatever you helping people with, what are all of the effects that's going to happen? Just like how I mentioned it. So when you do that, what's going to happen is you'll start to feel like, wow, like people are getting way more than I'm even charging for. Getting this, they're going to be getting dates. The impact is going to be on their family, the impact on their community. They're going to be able to move into the home they want. They're going to be able to drive the car. They're going to be able to make more love to their spouse, right? Their family is going to love them. Think about like every single thing that you can possibly think of if somebody achieves the result and goes through the thing that you're helping them with. More self-esteem, more confidence. They'll be able to save more money, make more, whatever. I don't care what it is, the littlest, tiniest thing. Add it on a list, because then you're going to look at it and just say, hold on, like people, they getting a lot. That's what I'm helping them with. So this is key things that you're going to focus on. All right. So also next, right now, how do you build this offer? Right. So what do we need to do? How do you do that? Right. In less than a week. So very simple. What we're going to do when it comes to your offer, a couple things. Number one, write down your list of 12. Your list of 12, and I do this with all of our members, and literally I have them knock this out in like a day, right? We usually do it together on our onboarding, or typically the first week. And I did this with one of our members the other day, and I said, here's what we're gonna do. I said, there's only really a couple things we need to do. Write down your 12 steps, right? So, and literally you have all of the AI in the world in ChatGPT. If you're like, man, I don't really know. Have them list out your steps. Okay, what are 12 steps to achieve X outcome? And you got to look through it and see if you agree with it, because you want, and here's the key, you want the steps that you're providing people to match the things that you've actually done, because you're speaking from experience. Your position for this should be you're speaking from experience. So if you go through 12 steps, you should be able to tell me a story about each one of them. Don't stress or panic out about it right now. But at some point, you want to be able to have some type of reference experience, right? Like if I'm telling you our steps is create a program, I could tell you a story about it. How I struggle with content, I could tell you a story about it. How how I didn't know how to generate leads and how I figured it out, and how I started running ads. I could tell you a story about it. How we make sales, and I hired sales trainers and coaches because because I didn't have the confidence. I didn't know what I was doing. I could tell you a story about it. I can go through our steps and I can tell you stories about it, because it's come from my experience. And you may not be able to pull out all the stories right now, but at least have your list of 12. Second, your offer. Come up with your offer. Your offer is, I have my 12. Okay, now what are 2 or 3 other things I can start with? Okay, I'm gonna meet with you for 12 weeks, but I'm also gonna give you this assessment as a bonus. I'm also going to give you this community as a bonus. We're going to meet with the group once a week or once a month. I'm going to give you these live event tickets. We're going to do a retreat once a quarter, twice a year, once a year. And I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you access to this service. I'm going to give you access to this product. I'm going to give you access to whatever. I'm going to help you with this. I'm going to make this resource for you. I'm going to get you this introduction to this person. What are going to be the additional benefits, or we call them as deliverables, that your audience is going to get? So that's very important. Okay. And then, so now you have your curriculum, you have your offer, and then your price. What are you going to charge? If you don't know what to charge, I say charge anywhere between $1,500 and $5,000 is a good way to start. Just pick a number, because at the end of the day, your audience is going to tell you whether that price is worth it. They're going to tell you. You start hearing like, oh, wow, that's it. Okay. You could probably go up. If everybody's talking to us like, oh man, they give you a lot of excuses why they can't do it, they just perceive that the price isn't worth it. Because if they were getting a brand new house for $2,000 that costs $500,000, they wouldn't say that it wasn't worth it, right? Which means that, okay, that they just don't perceive what I'm offering them as worth it. Because if you was adding a $200,000 Ferrari as part of it, or a $500,000 home as part of it, or something else that they perceive to be higher value, they would feel like it's worth it. So that means you just have to increase the value as part of it. And they're going to be more willing to invest, or they're at least going to come back to you and say, okay, I got the funds. Like, let's get to work. See what I'm saying? So these are the things at a minimum you want to have in place. So that is how you're going to create your coaching program. That is how you're going to create your offer. Okay. That is, and then at that point, you're ready. So I got a question. I was talking about this recently too, and I got a question. Well, like, how much of this stuff do I have to have ready ahead of time? None of it. The only thing, because when you think about really the essence of coaching, it's they really want to talk to you, or face to face. They want to talk to you, right? So that's the essence of coaching, meaning I have this goal. I need to know what to do, and I need the support. You could literally just do that on a phone call, or you can do that on a Zoom when you think about it, right? Or you can do it in person. So think about, okay, so that's what they have. So, but what about these other resources or deliverables you was mentioning? Do I have to have that ready? No. This is all about setting expectations, and this is your bonus tip for the day. Setting expectations. So you might say, okay, well, I'm adding group coaching as part of it, but I don't have the group yet. This is still my first client. Set the expectation. Okay, hey, by the way, I'm going to start including the group as we get more members. Hey, by the way, I'm going to, we're in the process of creating the worksheets now. So you're going to get it. Hey, by the way, I'm creating the questionnaire. Hey, by the way, I'm putting together the Facebook group or whatever, right? So that's what it is. Hey, by the way, I'm creating a digital course. So as long as you set the expectation, people are going to be fine. If you forget to set it or you don't set it, then that's going to become an expectation. And once that becomes, and that's going to become an expectation from a standpoint, they're just going to think like, oh, well, I need to have it now, and start looking forward to having it now, when all it took was a 1-minute conversation of you just mentioning why you're doing it. And this is something that you're giving as a bonus, which is why you're going to include it as a bonus. A bonus is something additional. Typically, people are not going to get upset if it's something additional because it's extra anyway. It wasn't even going to be included. It's something extra anyway, just icing on the cake, right? Cherry on top. But if you include it as, but if you position it as a part of your core offer, your core deliverable, and you don't have that, then that would be an issue. But as long as you set the expectation of when it's coming, and you give them updates with what's happening with it, you're going to be completely fine. At a bare minimum, then you don't have to add any resources. You could just say, I'll help you out 12 weeks. That's what most people are expecting anyway. All right. So go do this. I'm telling you, from the last 10 years of my experience, we've enrolled over 588 coaches through our program, going through our system. We help hundreds of coaches launch and build their coaching programs from scratch. And this is literally the process. You guys got the inside scoop on how we do it. If you don't want to waste time, energy, and effort helping people, trying to figure it out and feel like you got to take months and I got to create these things and got to build a website and I got to do a funnel, you don't need any of that. Don't even do any of that. You don't need any of that. Somebody asked me about creating a funnel the other day, like, oh, well, yeah, I'm waiting to create my coaching program because right now I'm building a website and a funnel. And I said, what? Why are you building that? I said, do you know why you create funnels? I mean, because, people got to sign up so I can give away stuff. I said, yeah, but that's only if you have a massive amount of traffic, like you're running ads or you're on stages every day or you're doing webinars with like dozens or hundreds or thousands of people. That's so you spending a large amount of traffic to a page and you get a percentage of it. But you're not doing that right now. You don't even have your first client. You only have a handful of people you're helping or coaching right now. So it's like, you don't need that. You don't need a fancy website. Websites, people are not even going to go to your website to sign up. You're not charging. Like, this is, if you hear, you're looking at having a higher ticket coaching program. You're not selling like a $10 ebook or $20 digital course. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're not, especially if you have big ambitions and you want to make 5K a month, 10K a month, 20, 30, 40, whatever you want to make. It's going to take you forever to try to do that. And those are only one-time transactions. So what do you need to spend the time doing a website for if that's not part of your business model? Part of your business model is meeting with people. And you can see this on previous other trainings and stuff. If you go back and you can watch, that's a whole nother training for a whole nother day. But we make money through having conversations with people that have a problem that we can solve. right? Nobody's going to go to your website and drop $3,000. At a minimum, they're going to want to talk to their coach, their potential coach, right? Minimum, they're going to want to talk to you. So because of that, that is what you're optimizing your customer journey around. You see what I'm saying? But you got to have some of these elements first in terms of your offer that's ready to go so you can be able to help more people. All right. So that's what you need to do to put together a coaching program. Those are the minimum things you need to do in order to have an offer. And this is what's going to take you to the level where you can actually start making money. Slow motion is better than no motion. Let's work.